Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. Let me share my screen. So yes, Sabrina, as you said, our talk is called Know the Unknown, Feedback and Data for Product Innovation. So let's start by presenting ourselves a bit more, who we are. So Marcel, who are you?
Sure. So I'm Marcel Schumacher. I'm product manager at ICE24, so ImmoScout24, which is a company from Scout24. And I'm working there since 2016, so quite a long time. But my real passion is, that's why maybe also the title, about data and feedback. But also in my free time, I really love to be outside and like being on the sea, kite surfing, etc. And Gonzalo, we never met. So who are you, by the way?
You know me very well, even though we never met. I'm Gonzalo Carabaña, lead business analyst from Thoughtworks. I've been in consulting for 10 years, but working as a BA for the last 7. And what I like the most doing is playing tennis and drinking beer in that order. And of course, I have to say it, enjoy time with my wife and 2 daughters. So let's go into the topic right away. Let me see. There we go. So this is the structure of our talk today. We're going to start by providing you with a product intro, the product that we were evolving over the last year. Then we're going to go and deep dive into the unknowns that we were facing and how we were able to resolve them. Then we're going to give you the main takeaways of these unknowns and what we did. And we're going to end up the talk by making it a bit more real, by basically giving you some examples of the features we implemented and the value we deliver. So let's start right away by the intro, Marcel.
Sure. So let me introduce you Scout24 or ImmoScout24. Scout24 has the mission to make hard decisions easy. And Scout24 is an innovative digital company which operates with ImmoScout24 as the leading online platform in the residential and commercial real estate market in Germany. ImmoScout24 supports over 20 million users per month. And how do they do that? ImmoScout24, you can see on the right side, tries to be the happiness triangle for our users. So we have on the top left our agents who want to rent out, who want to market a property, but also on the top right, our homeowners who are trying to understand the market situation. Should I sell my property right now? Should I keep it, etc. And on the bottom, you can see the seekers who are looking for their dream flat. Our product starts here as well to make this happy triangle a success. And we started with a specific customer group, so-called project developers. Project developers are customers that are building a house, a multi-family house from the ground up, and a new location where they don't know will be this unit in 5 years, the value that they estimate in the beginning when they start to build something. So we provided with ImmoScout24 data to make them better understand the risk and opportunities for their location. This was back in 2015 in the form of an Excel file, so quite manual, not really shiny. But then in 2017, we developed the PDF, which was there to really solve the problem for understanding the risk, not only for our project developers, but also to the stakeholders that they have, like investors, etc. This was not enough. So we showed at the Expo Real, the biggest real estate fair for real estate market in Germany, the Standortanalyse as a prototype in 2020. This was also nominated as a digital hero back in the days. In 2021, we were able to bring the tool as a live tool to our project developers so that they could use it and check out without waiting for us what is the market situation in a specific location and should they construct something there or not. That's not all, because in 2021, we made the decision to retire the prior data tool that was not meant for project developers, but by a lot of other customers. And here our journey started, right, Gonzalo?
Yeah, that's right. So the Thoughtworks team was working on a different product in ImmoScout, and we were asked to join forces with Marcel's team, basically to evolve this product and make it valuable for other customer groups. I remember those early meetings by Zoom when there were a lot of unknowns that we had to figure out as we go with the product, and which were these 4 unknowns that were at least, they were unblocking us to move forward. So the first unknown was, what are the customer needs? So we were very clear on which were the customer needs of one customer group, the project developers, but we had like many more customer groups, and we really didn't know what was valuable for them. The second unknown is, who are we involving, when and how? So at this moment, this product became a strategic product for X24. So we got the spotlight on us, and we need to decide not only which customers involved from other customer groups, but also which stakeholders, how to report. And of course, we need to figure out as we go. The third unknown is around priorities. So we were getting all these new ideas, about, hey, you have to deliver this feature or this other feature. What about this? And we need to prioritize what is important and valuable for our customers. And the fourth unknown is, how are we going to make this a reality? So we have a team, and we need to understand how we're going to be working to deliver value, and deliver value as early as possible. And now we want to open a poll, okay, for our audience. So we want to know, out of these 4 unknowns that were mentioned, and they are currently in the screen, which of these unknowns you identify more with, okay? Which one you have experienced more? So please let us know. And we hope that we're going to discuss about 3 unknowns today. So we hope you don't select or you don't vote for the one that we're not going to talk today. So let's see about that. So please vote now for which is the unknown you identify more with. And maybe as soon as we have the results, they will be in the chat, right? Can you see them, Marcel? Yes.
Not yet, but I think they will come soon. Okay, now we got the results. So this is really interesting. Where most people voted for what do we need to focus on. And a lot of people were also interested in who are we involving, when and how. So I think today is your lucky day, because we will talk about some of these unknowns. And let's start with the first unknown that we faced in the beginning. And that is, what is the customer need? As you know, our project started with a specific customer group, but now we have a completely new set of customers. And the product was out there. We presented it already at Expo Real. So there were people around us that had a lot of ideas what we should implement for the new customer group that we will have to include in our product. But the question was, does it really solve a customer problem? We did not know that at this point of time. It was complete uncertainty there. Also, it's an innovative tool, and it has shown at the Expo Real to really change the real estate market. That a lot of ideas sound really great, but are they also really relevant and innovative for our customer groups? Do they see that the same way? We needed to understand that. How did we do that? We introduced a lot of feedback loops in the beginning and also during the development of the product. Our first and biggest feedback loop was our sales and customer service, because they are the touch point with our customers that will be in the tool in the next time. They have day-to-day contact with our customers. They understand what the problem is of the customers, what they're complaining, what their desire is. This helped us really to understand on the qualitative side what is needed there. But this was not enough for us. We created a panel group, so we brought existing customers from our prior tool into our new tool and made them decide what is really valuable for them. So we understood from interviews, from surveys, what are the problems, what are the needs, showed ideas how to solve them, and tested with them, is it really valuable to them or not? This was the qualitative, but then I think what's really important is the quantitative part of it. The need to also build front and back end figuring a new product at any time. So with, for example, this cohort analysis, you could check, was it something that we delivered and it was just a problem-solving thing because of the attention at the beginning, or was it over time solving a problem that our customer really had? And was this feature really valuable for them? All this gave us a clear understanding of the needs from our customers, but furthermore, we also were able to better manage our stakeholders who were really curious about the success of our product. So, Gonzalo, how would you summarize this?
So I will summarize it in some wins and challenges. So in terms of wins, we had several feedback channels. So when we were putting a feature out there, the MVP of a feature, we knew that it was going to be already valuable because we have checked with different groups. We iterate quite a lot to get to the root of the needs. So we never took the first input or the first idea as the good one. We were always very asking the same questions and iterating to get really to the root of the problem. And we track usage to understand the needs better. We track usage for the whole tool, but also for the new features from the very beginning. So we knew if the features were being used as we were expecting, and if it was really fulfilling or fixing the problem that we were trying to tackle. In terms of challenges, the feedback rounds are time-consuming and they are costly, of course, for us and for our customer groups in terms of time. So for us, it was a bit difficult to find the balance of how many feedback rounds are enough. We also, from the beginning, we realized that we had to create prototypes or high-fidelity designs to gather feedback from our customers because they are very busy, they are very professional. And when we were approaching them with a design that was not very polished or something that was not very, let's say, very good, then the input that we were receiving was not so useful for us. And we also learned quite early that it's not possible to satisfy all customer groups equally. We had many customer groups. So we had to do a very clear plan on when we are releasing which feature for which customer group. And of course, be very transparent to our customers about when they were getting the value that they were expecting. And this third point links a lot with prioritization. That is our next unknown, right, Marcel?
Exactly. So the most voted one, what we really need to focus on, because we have tons of ideas available. For that, we had to create a vision and a mission for Standortanalyse. How did we do that? First of all, we knew the problem. So we tried to formulate the customer need in a statement. This statement goes further because we want to define the vision. So a state, a high-level solution state where our customer should be in order to scope with this problem. Based on that, you then can create all these missions. So our ideas that we have, and you can define for each of them the requirements and the effort that you need in order to implement it. All these different missions, you can then determine the relative value for and prioritize on what you really need to focus on, and also check, is it really bringing your customer to your high-level solution state? That make it really practical. We had the market data view feature. So here we had the overall problem for a specific customer group that they need to understand the market development in time. It's really time consuming to check the news. What is the latest offers? What are the prices? Are the people looking for that at all? So we want to bring them to the state where they can see the latest data at once and reveal all the market development that is needed for them to be a really good partner for their stakeholders. What are the missions behind it? That are distribution graphs, demand charts, supply charts, etc. So a lot of small missions where you then need to decide what should I focus on. So we write down the requirements, we write down the efforts, and then you can organize them based on a relative value. For example, maybe you focus first on a space chart for living space and then the room size, because that is not so important. So to summarize that, we had a lot of wins here because with this vision, you have a goal, what you want to achieve, which motivates you. It's really good to validate all your ideas in a simple and understandable way against the vision. Also with your customers directly, we can give you feedback about it, not only your team. Furthermore, our teamwork was way better aligned because everybody knew what to focus on and we could execute on our mission that we created. We had also some challenges on the other side. And that is, in the beginning, formulate this problem. It should not be negative. It should be also sometimes it's a really complex problem you might think in the beginning, but bring it in a simple way as one simple sentence together. Also think about this concept of a solution. So it's a state. It's not that you dictate the solution right away. It's something where you see a customer in the end, to not limit yourself. This all takes time, so you need to revisit your vision statement and really understand and test it again with people. So to understand, do they understand it? Can they evaluate it as well? But that's not all, right, Gonzalo? This is the vision and the mission, but we had something else what we had to focus on.
Yes, so this is the last unknown that we're covering today, is how are we working as a team? And this question is very important for all teams, mostly for two reasons. Because team setup and practices, they can really block or unlock teams' potential to deliver value. And also because they are a catalyst for product innovation. We have this mandate of creating a very innovative product. And normally, I think most of us, when we think about product innovation, we think about external sources of product innovation, like maybe other industries leading with one technology, or maybe the competitors doing something, or this great idea that comes from the sales team of a product manager. But product innovation needs to also be fostered from inside the team. So the product delivery team and the team practices that you put in place, they can really impact positively the product innovation that you're going to deliver to your customers. And to understand how we manage to get to this point, we want to start by explaining the team starting point. So in November 2021, the Thoughtworks team joined the existing IX24 team. So we were a co-source team. We had big differences on ways of working, not only on the ceremonies that we were doing, but also on the delivery practices. So we, as Thoughtworks, we were doing pair programming, but the ImmoScout team members, they were not doing it. We also had a complementary skill set. At that point, the Thoughtworks team was very strong on backend, and the ImmoScout team, they were very strong at front-end and data. Also at that point, we were introducing a new role, that was me, the BA. So we had to figure out, of course, how to work, especially with Marcel, but of course with the whole team. And there was, from the beginning, this always happens, a lot of delivery pressure. We wanted to be able to retire the previous tool soon and deliver value even sooner. So what we did, which actions we took with this starting point? The first action was quite bold, but we managed to convince our stakeholders to stop delivery for 2 weeks. And not only for the Thoughtworks team members, but for everyone, stop delivery. Why? To have a very structured onboarding process of 2 weeks to ensure that we can get up to speed on the business context. So why this product is important for ImmoScout, why this product is important for our customers, which are the main use cases. And of course, we also cover the technical part and the technical reviews, but we focus mostly on the business part, okay, during this onboarding. Once we have done this, we also agreed on initial ways of working. And this was quite fast. It was one workshop that lasted probably 1 hour, 1.5 hours, in which we all sit together in a Zoom room and we explain. So the Thoughtworks team members, we explain how we like to work. And the ImmoScout team members, they also explain how they like to work. And then we found the compromise and the balance to start working together. We did the same, once we defined the ways of working, we did the same for the expectations per role. We put all the roles in different columns, and we decide who was responsible for what. Of course, these two things, ways of working and expectations per role, was just the starting point that will allow us to start the first sprint and start delivering value from early on. These two things and almost everything in our project was subject to continuous improvement. We have been even up to today, improving continuously the ways of working and the ways we are basically delivering value. And we want to share with you 2 main tools that we have used for continuous improvement that they have been very useful for us. Maybe you can also use them in your product teams. The first one is the happiness metrics. And we do this not only our team, but also all teams with Thoughtworks people in ImmoScout. And with this happiness metrics, what we do is that in every retro, so every 2 weeks, we send an anonymous survey to the team members, to all of us, and we try to understand how the team is doing. So if the team is really valuing the people in their team, if they are having fun working in their team, if they are learning. And with this, we understand how the team is doing, how they are feeling. Because we know that delivery is important, but having a happy team is for us more important. And we know that happy teams, okay, then they are going to have a good delivery, okay? So we track not only delivery, we track happiness. And the second tool that we want to share with you today is the internal alignment board. This is a board that we use also every 2 weeks, but in a different day. All the leads from the product. And what we do here, we want to understand our perception on how things are going for the areas on the left, so delivery, backlog, capacity, and our perception basically to then identify risks and issues. So what we do, we go into the call, we don't open our mouth, we are very silent, and we place our beautiful faces in the radar for each of the categories. And once we have done that, we can identify where are discrepancies in perceptions, and then we discuss what can we do to improve the issues and risks identified. And these two tools have been very useful for us, so we recommend that you also give them a try. But when we started, so Marcel, how will you summarize this?
Sure, let me summarize it, because one of the wins with this was, of course, that we built up a lot of transparency between our teams and also our work. And that was the key element for good teamwork and collaboration. Furthermore, we could really incorporate all the feedback and the suggestions from the team right away, which improved our processes over time, and we did it again and again. So what came out of it was something that the team decided, like focus time, learning time, something that they needed so that they could develop and deliver something really valuable. We had also challenges, and that is always that you have some resistance for change. That's completely normal. But by giving the team the ownership about the process and giving them the ownership about incorporating the feedback, they were in control of it, and it was easier to do. We had to limit a cognitive overload from the beginning because there were a lot of insights and understanding about the business, which really maybe is a bit too much for our team members in the beginning. This means the deliveries will start slow, but you can trust in the process and then also have a better stakeholder management with them because you deliver faster over time. That is our unknowns so far that we want to show you, but first of all, let's wrap them up with the key elements. First of all, we talked about the unknown, which is the customer needs. So here, our key takeaways are really use as much data as possible to reduce bias there. So not only use tracking data, quantitative data, but also qualitative data, feedback surveys to really understand the customer's needs. Then, when you understand it, you need to prioritize what to work on. So here we can really tell you the vision gave us a good help to validate, okay, what should we focus on? What should we really build next? This gives you the help to determine the relative value of everything you want to build. And you can confirm it with your users. Gonzalo, what was your takeaways from the team setup?
So 2 main takeaways. First one, track happiness over delivery. Okay, that's very important. And the second one, apply, build, measure, learn mentality to ways of working. Always try to ensure that the team likes the way of working and that it is working out. Until you find the sweet spot, you're going to find it, then you're going to lose it. Okay, so always try to improve those ways of working, okay, and be very agile there. And now I think, Marcel, when we started this talk, we had a clear objective, right, that we had to achieve. What was that?
Exactly. So if you remember, we had this happiness triangle, and I told you we started here with Standortanalyse to contribute to that. And Scout or Scout 24 wants to make hard decisions easy. And I think Standortanalyse was a product where we could deliver value that helped here in every case, because we gave a product to our agents, our professional agents from our platform, which gave them the possibility to better understand the market, to show expertise, to really be the best partners for the homeowner, to help them to understand when to sell the property, when not, what should I do next, but also to be there for the seekers and show them, okay, this is the demand on the site. It's really hard to get a property, but maybe in this location, it would be really interesting for you. So we gave them a tool which makes everybody somehow a bit more happier because they have a better market understanding here. That's not all, I would say, because we don't want to only focus on our happy customers, but also what made us happy. So Gonzalo, maybe what was your favorite feature that you developed?
So my favorite feature, and not only my favorite feature, but also the favorite feature of all the customers, because it's the most used one, is the market data view that Marcel already shown. So this feature allows the customers to see supply and demand at a glance. So allow them to identify opportunities and risks in a matter of seconds within a given region or city. We added a lot of filters to cater for different customer groups. And of course, below the map, there are more graphs and statistics for deeper analysis. But what I like the most about this tool is that, or this feature, is that it's very colorful. That's always nice to the eyes. And Marcel, what about you? What is your favorite feature?
So my favorite feature was the acquisition PDF. So this is a PDF that we gave our agent mainly, and what was really challenging because we give here a PDF that not only makes a property evaluation, it shows how the customer is performing in the market. So how successful this agent is, but also what is the market development at the moment. All this is individualizable by the agent, and the agent can go to the homeowner and show the expertise with the knowledge that they have in this PDF. It's really created in less than a minute, which is absolutely great because something like that was years ago not possible. So that brings us to the end to the talk, but I want to thank, first of all, our team that developed Standortanalyse. It was a really great time to work with everybody to incorporate all the feedbacks. And maybe Gonzalo, your last words?
Of course, also thank you to our audience. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the talk and that you can take some tips.